Hi guys, it's Mrs. Kezior. I just wanted to give you a quick instructional video on how to navigate the course as we've moved to an online environment. So I have redone the module or the Canvas course so that it flows more like an online class, which we are in an online class through the end of the semester. So if you notice when you go to log into Canvas, the homepage is going to dump you into the modules. The modules is really where you're going to be to do most of your work. So if you haven't already, you can go ahead and minimize some of the previous week's modules. So for example, week number 7, I did some already. Week number 7, if you click on these little triangles next to each week, it will just minimize so that you don't have to look at all the previous weeks. So once we get down to, we're in week number 10, that's the module that we're going to be starting working online. If you recall with the previous modules, most of the resources that I put in there were actually optional resources. So you weren't required to go in and look at them. It was just kind of where I was storing everything. Your assignments were there, but you could access them somewhere else. Now what we're going to be doing, since we're moving to an all online environment, all of the items that are in those modules are actually going to be required modules for you to view. So that's how you're going to receive your course content. So because they're required, you're actually going to need to check off that you've completed each one. The way that you check them off is depending on which one it is. So for example, this one, to get it checked off, you just have to look at it. So for this PowerPoint, to get it to be checked off, you just have to view it. For a video, you're going to view the video and then you will see a little check mark over here. So let me show you what that looks like. So the way, again, you're going to get your online content is going to be through some of these resources. So the first resources is this guided notes. So if you click on the guided notes, it's actually a PDF file. You can view it in Canvas, or if you want to if you want to view it out of Canvas, you can just go in and click it. Let's see if I can get it opened. There we go, as a PDF file. Now, the guided notes is actually going to be the same or similar to the guided notes that I was giving you in class when we were doing the lecture notes. But here they're going to already be filled in for you, so there's nothing for you to complete. Now, for chapter 10, you can go ahead and skip through, and I'm going to I apologize for scrolling through pretty quick, but we're going to skip through to section 10.4 because you already have notes through section 10.3. And if you look at the guided notes, they're going to look really similar to the notes that I gave you in class. So we get to section 10.4, here we are. So section 10.4 is going to include, again, similar to the objectives like I showed you, we had in our notes in class. It'll give you key terms. It'll give you some formulas or some sort of summary of what the lesson is. It'll give you a guided example that's worked out and then a practice problem for you to complete. Again, this looks very familiar to what we were doing in class. For the practice problem, the answer key to the practice problem is at the end of the document. So at the end of the PDF, you'll find the answer keys. So you'll go through the guided notes for that. So again, here's the next objective. Here's a little summary. Here's a guided example, and here's a practice problem. So I'm expecting you to go through for chapter 10, just worry about 10.4 and 10.5. That's all you need to worry about in that document. Okay, so you'll print out 10.4, 10.5, read through those. Let me go back to the modules, and I might have to refresh. Let me see if I can refresh it real quick. All right, so when we go back to the modules, because we opened up that guided notes, you'll see that there's like a little check mark. So we've checked that off. So we've completed that item. Okay, so there's the guided notes. So again, you might have to just view it to check it off. Again, if you want to print it out, you can. Now, the rest of the the rest of the module I've got broken down by section. So here's 10.4 and here's 10.5. So these are the items that are going to pertain specifically to 10.4, and the first thing is going to be a PowerPoint. So again, I'm expecting you to open up the PowerPoint. You can look at it just inside of Canvas if you want, or if you wanted to launch the PowerPoint and look at inside, if you got PowerPoint at home, you can look at it at PowerPoint at home. Now, when you're in the PowerPoints, I do want you to kind of scroll through everything. You're going to notice that the PowerPoints are a little bit more detailed than those guided notes. So I do need you to go through both the guided notes and the PowerPoint, because the PowerPoint is going to give you a little bit more detail. So the more detail is going to be some pictures. You're going to have some visual aids. It might have additional problems. Maybe the guided notes only had one example problem. This one might have 2 or 3. So it'll have some additional example problems with the solutions worked out. So you'll go through the PowerPoint. You'll review that. If you want to take notes on the practice problems, you can take notes on the practice problems in the PowerPoint. And then when we go back, let me go back to the modules. You'll see that that PowerPoint now is checked off, so that's been completed. So you're just going to go through the modules. So the next thing you're going to do is watch this video, then watch the next video, then you'll do your homework. So you'll notice when you do your homework, in order for you to get this little check box to check off, you have to get at least a 50% on your homework. So you'll do your homework just like you were doing before in my math lab, and then you'll go on to section 10.5, watch the PowerPoint or read through the PowerPoint, watch the video, do your homework. Now we do have an exam coming up pretty quickly because we only had those 2 sections to finish off. So here's the exam solution, the review and the solutions, the answer key. You'll have to do a chapter 10 review quiz. And then you'll also have to do the project for this section was this perimeter and area project. So let me actually open that up for you. So in the perimeter and area project, you can click here and it will give you the the PDF file for you to print off. So for this one, you're just going to break these shapes into shapes that you can figure out the formulas for. So maybe this one you might do like a half circle or a circle. But you're going to break up the shapes and then find an estimate for the area and perimeter of each shape. So you'll turn in that assignment. You'll just upload it to Canvas. So let me scroll down to where you're going to go upload it. So if you go to, oh, it's up here. So you go to submit and then you'll upload that file here. So, so you're going to need to complete that before you take the test. Okay, let me go back into the modules. Okay, so you're going to go through that module, chapter week 10, week 11. There's also a grade check here for you guys to do. That's not new. You guys had done those before. So week 11 is going to be due April 6th, so that's Monday, April 6th. Now, by the end of the week, by April 10th, you should be taking your test. So we're going to be taking the test. You will take the test at home. It's going to be in Canvas. It's a fill-in-the-blank test. So what you'll do is we're going to be using what's called Respondus Lockdown Browser. So it's just a browser that it basically keeps you from cheating on the exam because you're taking it at your own home. There's nobody to proctor the exam. So it's just a way that we use to take online tests at home. So you'll read the instructions for this, download the browser. You'll need to use a webcam for this as well. So you'll read those instructions. Before you can take the test though, so you'll notice that the module that says exam 3, which is due April 10th, it's not bold here. It's like you can hardly, it's like faded out. It's faded out because it's locked, and you'll also see a little lock button here. So this module will not open up until all of the things before it have been complete. So you can't take the test until you turn in your project, until you do all the homework, you do the quiz, you've looked at all the PowerPoints, you've downloaded this browser, you've looked at that, you've done the practice quiz for that, then this will open up. So make sure that you get all of this other stuff done way in advance so that you have time to get this opened up. When you go to open this, this is where you'll take the test. You'll just click on here, follow the instructions, and that's where you'll take the test. Okay. Now, after you take the test, the next module will open up. So after the exam 3, The modules you have to complete the modules in order, and they will only open up once you complete the previous one. So for one, starting in module, for week 12, the module for week 12, you're going to have to go in order. And again, it won't open up until you're done with the prerequisites for it. So for this one, it's completing the exam. So when that opens up, you're going to go through and do all of the same things. Again, you're going to follow in order. So you might have a homework assignment to do, then open up the guided notes, then look at the PowerPoint and the video and more homework and so forth. Now, the one thing that's going to be different about the modules that start for the last unit is, instead of a project, I've got some discussion pages that you're going to complete. So you'll see, like, the first discussion is due April 13th. It's what's my number discussion. You'll just open up that discussion page, follow the instructions for that. So because it's an online class, I did want you guys to have some interaction with each other. So you'll open up the discussion, you'll answer the questions, and then you'll post your response to somebody else's discussion. And again, if you have questions about how to complete those discussions, please let me know. Okay, but that's the only thing different about module the next unit is you've got those discussions instead of a project, but everything else is going to be the same. You're just going to go through and do PowerPoints and videos and homework all the way till the end of the semester. So you'll have a few more weeks of that, and then at the end of the semester there's going to be the final exam. There's a final exam review here, and then once that you've completed these, the final exam will pop open for you. So similar to the other test up there. So you'll have the final exam. It will also be a test that's done online using the Responda software. So that again will open up only after you complete everything else. So once everything else is completed, that will open up. So the rest of the class is basically at your own pace. So if you stick to the schedule, you'll complete everything by May 8th. If you want to work ahead, please work ahead. If you fall behind, just let me know and I can definitely extend the due dates for you. Again, I think I have up to 2 weeks to extend, but if you're falling behind, please just keep in contact with me. Let me know you're still working. Aside from that, that's how the class is going to flow. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you've got a question on. Other than that, happy studying.